When people have a difficult problem in diagnostics, they come to Nichols.
Nichols Institute is an astonishing place. It's much more like a research institute than it is a service laboratory.
Worldwide, Nichols Institute is recognized as one of the best, if not the best, reference lab in the world.
The fact that we have well over 800 MDs and PhDs provides us enormous scientific talent.
We have acquired knowledge base which is not available anywhere in the world.
We can help you take care of patients with chronic diseases ranging from HIV to hepatitis B to hepatitis C to patients with acute infections.
We can tell a patient that they're not at risk for getting the same kind of cancer that their brother or sister or mother had.
Making the diagnosis helps you determine what therapies to use, helps you avoid invasive procedures, unnecessary surgeries, saves money, and the bottom line is can potentially save lives.
At Quest Diagnostics, a major part of our mission is to provide consultation to physicians in addition to patients. In that regard, we are the doctor's doctor. We are the physician's physician.
It's easy to generate data, lots of data. What's difficult in many cases is to help somebody understand exactly what that data means. A good example is the HepaScore test. We take a series of tests that are very complex and describe in a single graphical report exactly what the risk is that that patient has liver fibrosis. So the physician can get an instant insight into what needs to be done for that patient.
We have our medical directors who are on site who can actually be available for any physician who has received a patient result and might not know what next steps to take.
When you do high volume testing, you see even the rare things frequently. When a physician calls us and asks us a question about a disease that he or she may never have seen before, I've seen 50. We have that ability to advise our physicians in a much better way.
I'm a scientist. I love technology and science, but what I really work for is to develop testing that helps patients.
When the patient comes to the doctor, the patient just knows that there's something wrong, and in many cases they worry about the absolute worst possible scenario.
We want to do whatever we can to reduce that anxiety time and provide them with the highest quality diagnostic results.
Quality is the most important aspect of laboratory medicine in my view, and that's what drew me to this laboratory, and that's been the hallmark of Nichols Institute.
Six Sigma is utilized in all aspects of our business, starting from the time that you collect the specimen, to the time that you deliver the specimen, to the testing, to the reporting, and even the way that you look at your workflow.
You have to have accurate results, but deliver them in a fast enough time period that the physician can make the right decisions to treat the patient.
Clinicians as well as patients trust that when they send their sample to us, it is in good hands and they are going to receive the proper and accurate data.
There's a big difference between R&D and innovation. You know, R&D is incremental, moving forward, using things that are obvious to most people. I'm an innovator, and we're innovative here.
One of the examples that comes to mind is the platform that we've moved to, which we call LCM-SMS.
Quest was one of the first clinical laboratories to embrace this new technology and use it for clinical testing. No other laboratory has embraced it at the extent and the breadth and depth of assays that Quest Diagnostics has.
We came up with a new line of testing. We call it Lumeta.
Lumeta is a test for leukemia and lymphoma, but it is a test done from blood plasma instead of bone marrow. So if you have seen a bone marrow biopsy, which is the most painful procedure one can see, and especially with the children, and there is an opportunity that you can do similar tests from blood samples, it's tremendous.
At this moment, the main focus of our immunogenetics lab is Hla typing.
HER2 testing in breast cancer is crucial to predict whether the patient is going to respond to antibodies for the HER2, as well as to some of the new targeted therapy.
We work together with the doctors to make a match between the clinical outcome and the testing that we are doing.
Hello, Dr. Jones. I'm going to be faxing over.
And that in genetics, for example, is very important.
When you're the largest laboratory in the world, you have opportunities as well as responsibilities to forge a new ground.
Quest Diagnostics was the first lab to offer HE4 testing for women with ovarian cancer.
We were the first company in the United States to offer an assay against SARS. We were the first company to offer an assay against West Nile virus.
We're the first laboratory to offer cell search for oncology applications. We're the first lab offer Chagas by RIPA.
Quest Diagnostics is the leader for providing testing for cytology as well as HPV testing.
We developed a completely new way to diagnose the most common inherited form of mental retardation, which is called Fragile X syndrome.
We now have and are developing methods to detect the presence of disease before it happens. Once we have that, then we can catch the disease at a very early stage and have a huge, huge probability of success.
We have 43,000 dedicated people, and the reason they come to work because they know they are doing something that's helping patients.
We're foremost part of the healthcare team, as much as the doctors, the nurses, and people who directly interact with the patient.
To be able to do testing that is important and touches so many people's lives, it is a privilege.
I guess each time when we launch an assay that we're the only laboratory in the universe, that made me very, very proud.
I've been with the company for 20 years, and if I would want my sample to be tested or my child's sample to be tested, I would only want it to come to Quest Diagnostics.